Get me out of here, man. Have the polls closed yet?
In about an hour.
Get me out of here! I need to vote! I have tools at my grocery store.
I brought this.
It's not gonna cut through these cuffs.
Oh, God.
Yeah, what happens next, you don't want to know. Chaz Bono plays a Trump supporter who gets held captive, then goes on to cut off his hand to make it to the polls in time to vote in the FX horror series American Horror Story Cult.
Well, the season centers around the 2016 presidential election. Chaz, you're freaking us out with this season of this. Gary K. Longstreet.
Yeah.
What goes on behind this fella?
What goes on behind? I mean, you know, I think he starts off pretty just like your average American Trump voter. I mean, that was kind of originally my thought, and then he gets into that situation, and things change.
So he's held captive,
Yeah,
and the only way he's going to get to the polls.
He is to cut off his hand.
But they show every single part of that.
That's what American Horror Story does.
No.
To film that, what was that scene like?
It was. I mean, it was tough. It was a tough scene to film. You know, it was hard. It was emotionally hard, and you know, in TV you have to do things over and over from every angle and everybody's shot, and so I was tied up, you know, a good part of the day, and I had to scream a lot, and it was definitely the hardest day of work I've ever put in on a set.
Was that more difficult, or was it more difficult playing a Trump supporter, given your own values?
No, that was easy. I mean, that was that. You know, I mean, I play the scene, so you know, didn't have a problem with that. But that was a hard, emotional, you know, scene to do to get to the point where you are going to cut off your hand.
What is the season Cult really all about then?
I think it's about fear and what that you know, what that makes people do and how it makes people react. And I think that the election is kind of the, you know, the spark that sets all of these different people into motion, you know, doing stuff they probably didn't think they would have done beforehand.
How did all this come about with Ryan Murphy? Because, of course, you were in Roanoke, so you're in the inner circle now in Ryan's world.
Sure. I did a independent film called Dirty, and when I saw my scene in that, I was like, I've got to get this to Ryan Murphy. If I could just get this to Ryan Murphy, I think he would give me a shot. And it took me a couple of years to figure out how to get it to him. But once I did, I you know, did Roanoke. So
Once you're in, there's no going out.
I hope so.
You're in that circle.
I really hope so.
But did you know him from years past?
No, I've never. I know. I've only ever met him briefly once. So. No.
Were you a huge fan of the show?
Huge fan of the show from the beginning. I mean, I'm a horror nut. So
how, like, I again, the Lady Gaga, I go back to that scene with her.
Yeah.
So one I've seen, I was like, I can't watch anymore. It's so insane. And my
Graphic.
friends are fanatical about this show.
yeah, no. I mean, I love horror films. I have since I was a kid. I mean, I've kind of been obsessed with them.
Yeah.
I love being in the makeup trailer and you know, talking to the effects makeup people and seeing the amazing stuff that they do and everything. So I've always been into it. I watched it from the very first episode. I've watched every season. So for me, it's kind of a dream come true to, you know, not only, you know, be on a show, but to be on a show that you actually really love.
I mean, it's all so scary and crazy and twisted and evil. What do you guys do to have fun on the set?
Oh, we have a lot of fun on the set. Yeah, totally. I mean, I had a great time. The cast was so great this year and so much fun. And when we're not filming, I mean, Billy Lord, she kept me in, you know, hysterics the whole time, and Colton. It was a great group. We have a lot of fun, for sure.
It's neat with the Ryan Murphy with this show because you can come back as a different character. Yeah. Anybody else come back from Roanoke on this one or no?
Well, sure. I mean, Evan Peters and Sarah Paulson and Adina Porter. And a couple other.
Jessica Lange?
No, she hasn't been on the show in a long time.
That's such a cool concept, though.
It's great.
Reinvent yourself and you're on the set. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, last year I was a cannibalistic hillbilly.
There you were.
And this year I'm a one-armed, you know, rabid Trump supporter turned cult member.
What's next season gonna
yeah,
be? What do we
I have
got?
no idea, but it's always, you don't get to do this stuff anywhere else. So, for me, what I enjoy about acting is becoming characters that don't resemble me in the slightest, and American Horror Story is a great place to do that.